NBA champions, the highest of high, ultimate basketball excellence on top of the mountain, undeniable greatness, legacy cemented in the history books from the years of hard work, chasing the dream, countless hours of grind, key players battling through injuries, high adversity, doubters questioning your greatness when you've been playing at a level above everybody else for more than 2 years, from winning all the accolades, the multiple MVPs, first team All-NBAs, an unexpected unknown second rounder from Serbia, selected during a Taco Bell's commercial 9 years ago, to becoming the best the game has to offer, a moment in NBA history we'll forever cherish after 47 long years. How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. From the American Basketball Association, founded in 1967, originally called the Denver Rockets. From falling in the final ABA season, their lone championship series before this year, going through the merger, from the franchise's pioneers, the promising tandem of the incredible David Thompson put the franchise on the map, Dan Izzo, Brian Taylor, and Bobby Jones. The late 70s run short-lived after 3 straight postseason berths, including a conference final. From GM Carl Scheer trading away the Secretary of Defense for George McGinnis, head coach Larry Brown resigning, and the nightlife temptations getting to David Thompson, one of the few superstars to get a massive contract those days. A combination of drugs and injuries, team financially struggling, team actually convinced Thompson to pay back some of his money to avoid team bankruptcy, leading to the early 80s. High-power offense led by Coach Doug Moe took over after a year and a half with Donnie Walsh. The departure of Sky Walker led to the rise of prolific scorer Alex English, the all-offense, no-defense Kiki Vandeweghe, T.R. Dunn. Big man Izzo spent his whole NBA career at the Mile High until retirement after 85, 9 straight postseasons, an average of 45 wins that span, conference finals in 85 falling to Showtime with the addition to Calvin Nat, originally Mr. Nuggets triple-double fat Lever, and Wayne Cooper, part of the Kiki trade. Way before Jokic's time, Lever considered a poor man's Jason Kidd of the 80s, averaged 9.3 assists in back-to-back years. Team under Moe, 4th highest offensive rating throughout the 80s, but after Moe, Lever, and English's departure, franchise became the biggest laughingstock in 91. Under former Laker coach Paul Westhead, the worst defensive team in history, despite being first in scoring at nearly 120 points, team allowed a laughable 131, by far last place, 20 wins. Led by 5'10" Michael Adams, 26.5 point, one-hit wonder a year. Orlando Woodridge, 25 on empty calories from scoring less than 13 with the Lakers the previous year. Selected Georgetown center 4th pick rookie Dikembe Mutombo changed everything. From last place to 13 in defensive rating, a 17 and 12 rookie averaged 3 blocks alongside Reggie Williams. Drafted power forward LaVonzo Ellis the 92 draft. 3rd year Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf became a near 20-point scorer. Westhead replaced by Dan Izzo led to the improbable 94 upset, the first AC to knock off number 1. Many still consider this the biggest upset in NBA history. The 64-win Sonics, expected to get swept, forced 19 turnovers with their zone defense Game 4, back-to-back overtime wins, with backup point guard Robert Pack dropping a game-high 23. Mutombo 8 block shots, capped off an iconic image holding the ball, went on to lose to Utah in 7. Franchise, however, didn't win a playoff game for another 9 years. Swept by San Antonio in 95, All-Star Dikembe signed with the Hawks, ended up winning 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards and 4 All-Star teams the next 5 seasons at the ATL. Abdul-Rauf traded after kneeling for the anthem, causing controversy. Gave away second-year Jalen Rose, who was selected in 94. Super dark times between 95 to 2003. Team never finished above 10 in their conference. Super rock bottom with a past his prime Dale Ellis. Drafted Alabama's 2nd pick Antonio McDyess in the 95 draft, traded for 3rd pick in the 97 draft hometown Chauncey Billups, but quickly traded after shoulder surgery by the 2000 deadline, fired rookie head coach Mike D'Antoni after 1 season. Dan Izzo named himself the head coach again. Then came Nick Van Exel, traded from the Lakers for former 5th pick Tony Batique. A couple solid Rick LaFrench years, but didn't quite live up to being the 3rd pick. Izzo berated him to the point teammates didn't like it, even boycotted a practice, causing a national story. Coach lashing out at a fan, which ultimately led to his departure.
Go drink another beer, piece of
LaFrance, after 3.5 seasons, traded with Van Exel to Dallas 2002 for Juwan Howard and old Tim Hardaway. Kiki Vandeweghe then took over in the front office, hired Jeff Bastelic as head coach, former Heat assistant. Vandeweghe struck out terribly, drafting European 5th pick Nikola Skitishvili in 02, out the league by 06. McDyess traded to the Knicks, landed the draft rights to lottery pick Nene. Mark Jackson later waived. Solid starting center Marcus Camby also included in the package. After the team finished last place in the West, the new eras of stars simply on the horizon. The much anticipated legendary 03 draft featuring high school sensation LeBron James and NCAA's one and done prodigy Carmelo Anthony. The franchise ended up number 3, selected Carmelo Anthony from Syracuse, made an immediate impact, a 26-win increase, averaged 21-7 off the jump, ended a team 8-year playoff drought only to get bounced by league MVP Kevin Garnett and first place Minnesota in 5 games. After a slow start to the 05 campaign, multiple coaching changes landed George Karl, who finished 32-8 to end the year. Good enough for the 7th seed, fell to the eventual champion Spurs. Lost in round 1 again the following year to the Clippers, followed by one of the most dramatic seasons in franchise history, starting out with a brawl at MSG, including a mellow punch to Marty Collins, Nene Anthony and J.R. Smith suspensions. 3 days later, traded for superstar Allen Iverson, a top-tier scorer, to help Melo contend. Many believed Denver had what it took, but the two didn't mesh perfectly. Lost round 1 to the Spurs. Camby won Defensive Player of the Year. In the tougher conference, a full year with Anthony and Iverson together, won 50 games in 2008, the highest amount of games won by any 8 seed all time. Starting backcourt, Iverson and Anthony Carter, way too small, swept by Kobe's Lakers, 5 straight first round exits before having their most successful season up until the 23 title, trading Allen Iverson to the Pistons for former Finals MVP and multiple-time All-Star Chauncey Billups. A complete team, 54 wins, destroyed New Orleans round 1, dominated Dallas, but fell to the eventual champion Lakers in 6, first conference finals in 24 years. Unfortunately, following season, Coach Karl diagnosed with neck and throat cancer shortly after All-Star break, won 53 games, lost round 1 to Utah. The rumors of Anthony's future led to months of speculation, all made official by 2011, traded to the Knicks in February. In return for many good role players, no stars, rookie Kenneth Faried averaged 10-8, traded Nene for JaVale McGee, got back Andre Miller, still amazing in his mid-30s, plus prime Ty Lawson, and now Harrington took Kobe's Lakers to 7 in 2012, acquired Andre Iguodala in a 4-team trade. Karl won Coach of the Year, franchise best 57 wins before getting upsetted by Golden State round 1. 8 times George Karl lost in round 1 in 9 years with the Mile High. Iggy did a 360 on the franchise, joining Golden State, the next dynasty in the making. Denver then became a laughingstock, a 36-win team under head coach Brian Shaw, hired new GM Tim Connolly, drafted Rudy Gobert 27 overall, but traded for Eric Green in cash. Team selected Doug McDermott, the 2014 draft, the 11th pick, but shortly traded him to the Bulls for 16th and 19th pick Yusuf Nurkic and Gary Harris.
2 things you only dreamed would come together. A delicious cheesy quesadilla.
Plus, drafting an unknown Serbian by the name of Nikola Jokic.
With the 41st pick in the 2014 NBA Draft, the Denver Nuggets select Nikola Jokic from Sombor, Serbia. He last played for Mega Vizura in Serbia.
Remain overseas for another year. Denver 30 wins, ended the Ty Lawson era. The 20-year-old finally entered the league alongside new head coach Mike Malone's first year in Denver, landed 7th pick Emmanuel Mudiay, traded a few years after struggling. Rookie Jokic played 80 games, averaged 10-7, a 33-win team. Before the Jokic Embiid debate, there were actually heated arguments whether you want Jokic or Jahlil Okafor as the franchise starting center next 10 years. Jokic ended up winning his first MVP, which was Okafor's last season in the NBA. On to 2016-17, Canadians Jamal Murray selected 7th overall out of University of Kentucky, a promising 40-42 record. Jokic emerged 2nd in most improved player, a near 17-10-5 guy. allowed the team to trade former starting center Jusuf Nurkic, who once battled with Jokic for the starting spot, landed good backup Mason Plumlee, a controversial decision at the time. Jokic, having 39 double-doubles, truly became one of the best passing centers, up there with Marc Gasol, while Murray struggled, averaged 10 a game on 40% shooting, backing up 34-year-old Jameer Nelson, traded draft rights to Donovan Mitchell, Gallinari assigned in trade, allowing Paul Millsap to sign by 2018. Denver started to become pretty good. Gary Harris, a career year, 17.5 points. Team traded Moutier to the Knicks. Murray, full-time starter, became obvious. Him and Joker, the franchise's two players to build around. While Jamal considered under the radar, Jokic snubbed as an all-star, putting up nearly 19, 11, and 6, lost in the last game of the regular season in overtime to Jimmy Butler's Wolves for the final playoff spot. A forgotten 35 and 10 from Jokic turned out to be a blessing in disguise. Having the 14th pick, took a chance on Michael Porter Jr. despite only playing 3 games at Mizzou, a high school phenom coming off major back surgery, supposed to be top 5 caliber, missed his first full season. Many teams avoided. After Jokic signed a 5-year max worth $148 million, an absolute travesty. Many working at ESPN had no idea who he was.
Nikola Jokic, 5-year, $148 million max deal. No opt-out, so that's a straight 5-year deal, and that's a player they're going to build around in Denver. That's their guy now.
The audacity to show Jusuf Nurkic highlights, confusing the two. The casual mainstream media been sleeping from day one. A breakout season, the second youngest team, Jokic first-time All-Star, 2011 and 7, Murray respectable 18, Millsap, Malik Beasley, Monte Morris all played a nice role, knocked off San Antonio first round in 7. Jokic averaged 23, 12, and 9 his first playoff series. Murray showed his clutch gene. Second round all-out war, worst prime Dame Lillard. Jokic huffing and puffing. Wasn't in the shape he is now, changed his habits for the best, but still dominated. The crazy 4 overtime game 3, an insane 65 minutes played, the 4th most all time in a postseason game, and the most since 1953, pushed his body to the limit, fell to the more experienced Blazers in 7 games. Jokic 29 and 13 game 7, Murray just shot 4 of 18. Jamal resigned for 5 years, 158, July 2019. Finished 3rd place, MPJ's first full season. Team traded for Jeremy Grant, but still consider a year away. Dealing with all types of postseason adversity, becoming the first team to come back from a 3-1 deficit in back-to-back series, Bubble Murray went insane, played like a true superstar, averaged 31.6 points, 55% shooting versus Utah, including 2 50-point games, a grinded out game 7, Jokic the go-ahead game-winning basket on Gobert, a 30 and 14 stat line. Then came the historical Clipper series. Nikola, best player all around, put up over 24, 13, and 6, outplayed Kawhi Leonard and PG, exposed Montrezl Harrell. Down double figures each of the 3 games facing elimination. Instead of folding, teams showed heart and resiliency. Scored 38 in the final 12 minutes of Game 5, an MPJ dagger over Lou Will, his coming out party, rallied from a 19-point deficit Game 6 before a Jokic avalanche, a plus 26 second half, including showing us multiple Dirk Nowitzki fadeaway shots, 22 rebounds in Game 7, almost out-rebounding the whole Clippers starter by himself. Murray closed out Pandemic Pete with a 40-piece, punched their ticket to the conference finals before falling to the eventual champion Lakers. Perhaps 25-year-old Jokic, 23-year-old Murray, and 22-year-old Porter seemed just happy to make it that far. But after 2 grueling 7-game series, looked very fatigued, already played 6 elimination games. The 21 season, traded for Aaron Gordon, getting rid of Gary Harris and others, Jokic easily earns his first MVP, but the unfortunate ACL tear from Jamal Murray, a major setback, ruined the season's title hopes. The future of the franchise was in jeopardy. MPJ averaged 19 points, the first time Joker received recognition as best player on the planet, single-handedly ended the Dame Lillard CJ McCollum Blazers era, 27 of his 36 points second half of Game 6 closeout, limited supporting cast, no match for Phoenix, drafted Bones Highland, later traded in 2023, signed 35-year-old Jeff Green, forced to start. MPJ, after signing a 5-year extension worth over $170, limited to just 9 games 2022, needed a dirt back surgery. Jokic still carried the team to 48 wins. Will Barton, second option. Monte Morris, 30 minutes played. Other role players Frank Campazzo and Austin Rivers depended upon. Joker 27, 14, and 8 stat line did the most he could with less. Realistically, nobody with Jokic's supporting cast would lead the 2022 Nuggets over 500, easily earn his second MVP, but heavily ridiculed for losing round 1 despite averaging 31, 13, and 6. Nobody on his team averaged above 14, made the last 3 games extremely close, worse the eventual champs. Many having short-term memories forgot how good Jamal Murray was, dismissed and ignored the team whole season long. MPJ and Jamal finally back with a much improved Jokic, went on to draft NCAA champion Christian Braun 21st overall out of Kansas, acquired 3&D Contavious Caldwell-Pope from Washington, a key piece to the 2020 Lakers' success, championship DNA, toughness and defense, qualities the team lacked, and the versatile Bruce Brown, a do-it-all free safety energy guy who'll make all the hustle plays, and much improved 40% outside shooter, 2 years 13 mil, huge bargain, a player option after winning the title. To start the season, Denver the same odds as the Lakers, a plus 1800. Teams like the Celtics, Bucks, Warriors, Nets, and Clippers in everybody's radar. While the health of Murray and Porter still a question, the Nuggets went on to dominate their competition. Fully healthy, the runaway #1 seed months before the playoffs slacked off the final few weeks, just going through the motions. Jokic's historical campaign every night became the clear MVP frontrunner in January. While nobody gave this small market team their flowers, all the disrespect added fuel to the fire, led by the best player simply not caring about what anybody said to denigrate his greatness. Media members only started to care after Denver continued to dominate the postseason. An incredible 16-4 record and inspired Mike Malone never let his team off the hook, simply a revenge season. Dominated and steamrolled past Gobert, Anthony Edwards, and Karl Towns Wolves. Murray picked up where he left off in the bubble, could have easily swept Minnesota, dominated Phoenix. Jokic, by far the best player in the series, averaged a ridiculous near 35, 13, and 10 stat line, almost 60% shooting. If that wasn't enough, the leading scorer 4 of those 6 games narrowly lost 3 and 4 thanks to Devin Booker shooting nearly perfect, while Phoenix, still adjusting to the newly acquired Kevin Durant, had chemistry issues. A disgruntled DeAndre Ayton absolutely got destroyed by Jokic. Durant simply nowhere near Joker's level, closed out the Suns in 6, their longest series. Before the conference finals, many picked the Lakers to beat Denver, claiming Anthony Davis can match the 2x MVP greatness. The series proved held to the absolute no. Jokic and Murray dominated, taking turns closing out the 4th, proved more than ready to be championship worthy. Unstoppable 2-man pick and roll, both can shoot, pass, and finish inside, while MPJ and KCP also shot over 40% from 3. Lakers desperately fighting with every ounce they have. Jokic's signature sample shuffle bomb game 4, combined with Aaron Gordon outplaying Anthony Davis, 22 points leading to the sweep, ended LeBron's 20 season with a block thanks to Murray's excellent help defense. From then on, many truly believed the Nuggets were unstoppable. Forced to wait a full week for the Heat-Celtics series simply wouldn't have mattered who won. Jokic didn't only prove he was the best basketball player in the world, but proved to have an all-time great run. A perfect 8-man rotation, all left an imprint, leading to basketball glory. Nikola's 30, 14, and 7 stat line earned the illustrious Finals MVP. Gordon's excellent defense on Butler, LeBron, and Durant deserved all the praise, punishing Miami's smaller guys in the paint. Murray, Jokic, the first pair of teammates with 30-point triple-doubles in any game. Christian Braun's energetic Game 3 burst. Bruce Brown and AG outscoring the duo of Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler in Game 4. Miami played Jokic as physical as anybody. Give them credit, but it didn't matter. From MPJ struggling all series to buy a shot, responded with 16 to close out Game 5, 13 boards, used his size to crash the glass, never lost confidence, championship defense to punctuate the best season in franchise history. 47 long years rising to the top helped Miami to 5 of 21 shooting the final 12 minutes of the series. Countless elite defensive plays, blocks, steals, deflections, clutch boards, you name it. An all-time grind fest, all the haymakers, physical plays, didn't matter what style of basketball it was, the Denver Nuggets had all the answers. Despite being held to 105 points in the finals, 11 points below their season average, it was Denver's defense that locked up Miami to under 100 points the last 3 games, championship level defense at its finest, regardless of what the critics say. All the main players on Denver's opponents mainly healthy. Too bad other stars like Giannis, Embiid, and Tatum failed to get it done. For a Nuggets team that finished 15 on defense, a perfect combination of having the best player in the world, a lethal second option, multiple 3-and-D wings, scrappy, energetic guys, well-rounded in every position. Everything as pure and complete an NBA team has to offer. Well prepared, super polished, no egos, ball movement, player movement, communication, best chemistry, a complete team effort, similar to a la 2014 San Antonio style. Whether the best player took 25 shots or 6 shot attempts, all the sacrificing, buying into one, chasing one goal, laser focus, never getting blown out once these playoffs, the first title team to not lose any of its postseason games by double digits since the 2011 Mavs, never lost sight of the bigger picture. Whether Murray got benched on defense in the 4th or MPJ didn't close out the game, for the love of the city, the unselfishness and will to win simply unbreakable. The happy vets, Jeff Green, 16 years to win a title, the positive energy, lovable DeAndre Jordan, keeps extending his career because he's got good connection with the players. 13-team journeyman Ish Smith, Colorado native Reggie Jackson going full circle, Thomas Bryant from becoming the biggest meme of the Lakers to sweeping his former team getting that ring, from first-year GM Calvin Booth pushing all the right buttons, Jamal Murray working relentlessly in rehab behind the scenes to prepare for May and June, and the best player on the planet, the best stats, the best mind in the game, barely ever makes mistakes, truly a special basketball savant, puts his teammates and everybody around him ahead of himself, never chases stats just to chase, plays the game the right way, continues to pile up historical records, the 76-year history of the league, the most points, rebounds, and assists in a single playoff run by any player, no stat too crazy to face Jokic a single bit. Being patient, never once has Jokic demanded a trade, despite playing with rotational guys during Murray's absence, some of whom no longer in the NBA today, a true testament to earning a title the hard way, from a chubby kid and not even envisioning playing in the NBA. His IQ and unselfish qualities makes him the ultimate teammate, respectful to his front office, trusting them to find the perfect fit, building culture, international teenagers playing in the 2014 Hoop Summit together with Jokic and Murray to accomplishing success at the highest level. 9 years later, the doubters, haters, absolutely exposed more than ever the last 12 months, only because one man continues to stay true to himself. Not only this season, but with all the main guys in their 20s, a potential dynasty for the Denver Nuggets in the making. And being the best, simply not a popularity contest, but mastering good habits and repetition, working in silence, having a guy that simply takes care of business, not needing extra validation, no social media, just enjoys his horses and lives his private life to the fullest. Nikola Jokic continues to be the same person, same principles, on and off the court, will always try to make the most efficient play in basketball, truly one of a kind. Congratulations to the 2023 Denver Nuggets, well-deserved true champions. Jokic's personality and humbleness very similar to the great Tim Duncan. As long as the front office surrounds today's best player with other solid pieces who just cares about winning, expect consistency year in and year out, being a reincarnation of Larry Bird and Magic Johnson put in one, the pure definition of excellent sportsmanship, shaking hands with every Heat player after the buzzer sounded before celebrating, absolutely sensational and breathtaking, pure class, an all-time great season. We'll appreciate, cherish, admire, inspire. Thank you, Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets, for showing us how it's done.